To discuss more about Fratelli Tutti is Dr. Andrew Abella, the Dean of the School of Business and Economics and Associate Professor of Marketing at the Catholic University of America. Dr. Abella, thank you so much for your time today. Pope Francis writes in this encyclical, by acknowledging the dignity of each human person, we can contribute to the rebirth of a universal aspiration to fraternity. Why does he have such a sense of urgency about this message right now?
I think it's to the point that Cardinal Czerny made about things are just not very good in the world today. I think the fundamental message of the encyclical is, unless we return to God, none of this is going to get any better. So it's 43,000 words. I think if you sum it all up, that's his main point.
In the first part of the encyclical, the Pope addresses the many challenges and the crises that we're facing right now in the world. But then he reflects on the parable of the Good Samaritan. What do you think that parable teaches us as far as building a more just and fraternal world?
I think it's a reflection on our duty to the other, to treat others as brothers. There was a famous experiment at Princeton some years ago where they told a bunch of students that you're going to give a lecture on the Good Samaritan and hurry up and get to such and such a building. And then in an alleyway on the way, they planted an actor who was pretending to be suffering and in need of medical attention. More than half of the people giving this lecture literally stepped over the actor so they wouldn't be late to give their talk about the Good Samaritan. We can't do that as Christians. We really have to take this stuff seriously, I think is his point.
Can we talk about what this encyclical means for someone who is maybe in business? And is there any change in church teaching in the document regarding business as well as economics?
So there's no change here. What he's doing is reiterating the teachings of the many previous popes before him who have written on the social doctrine. These are challenging teachings, but you can sum them up, and this is what we teach at the Busch School of Business to our students, that business is a form of service to others. You're serving your customers by giving them good, making good things, providing good services. You're serving your employees by providing opportunity for work. He includes challenging things like what's called the universal destination of goods, or the common destination of created goods, which is a teaching of the church that goes all the way back to even St. Thomas Aquinas, where St. Thomas said that you can think about the way we own things in two ways. From the perspective of ownership, the thing is mine. I decide how to dispose of it, when to sell it, if I want to sell it, to whom, and so on. But in terms of the use of a good, we should think about our stuff as how to serve others. So that the reason we have stuff is in order to serve others. And then Pope Pius XI, who had clarified that point and said, we serve others with our things in two ways. One is when we give away to those who need, and the other is when we invest what we have so that others can have an opportunity to work. I think this is a really important point. It says that private property isn't kind of just for me to do with what I want. It's for me to basically work out my own salvation by using it for the good of others. It doesn't mean it should all be taken away from me. That would completely violate the idea. But it says this is the purpose of having goods, is to serve others.
Well, Dr. Andrew Abella, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you coming on the show.
My pleasure.